Hello, my name is Param Singh. Let's learn some Elixir. Today we will focus on the topic of function composition and also see that how Elixir's pipe operator makes the function composition readable and clear. So let's start with the following problem. An item is listed at price P, sale for a discount D. Tax on the sale price is T, and we are going to assume that D and T are in percentages. Determine the final price of the item. Here is our analysis for this problem. So we are starting with a list price. That's what we are given. And we transform the list price through two different functions. So the first function is price after discount. Second function is price after tax. So when I say transform the list price, that is the core of what functions do. They take some input. In the first case, they are taking the input price and then subtracting the discount and getting you the price after discount. In the second example of transformations, we have a function price after tax. It is taking the input price and then adding the tax to it. And after this, we get the final price. Here are few test cases where the first column is the list price. Then we have discount in percentage and calculated discounted price. And then we have tax in percentage and the calculated final price. So from these pieces of information, I would encourage you to pause the video, design the following two functions, price after discount and price after tax. Use the following test cases to test your function implementations. And then we can come back and see what my implementations are. But more importantly, we are going to write this final price function, which is essentially going to use these two functions, and using the pipe operator, we are going to compose these two functions inside of the final price. So here I am back in my editor, and we have written three different test cases for this function price after discount. And this is again using the table that we just saw. Three different test cases for price after tax, three different test cases for final price. Going back to my implementation, so we have an implementation for the price after discount. Similarly, we have implementation for price after tax. Going to the final price function, I don't have it implemented yet, and this is where we are going to use the function composition and Elixir's pipe operator to write our implementation. So if I run my mix test right now, I will see that I have 9 tests and 3 of those fail, and those are the price test, final price that we have not implemented yet. So looking back at our drawing board, we'll note that the final price is basically pulling in the information starting with the list price and going through these transformations. And we already have written and tested these functions. So if I start to implement my final price now, it will follow the exact same data flow that we have used in our analysis. So what do I mean by that? So we start with list price, and then we'll start with the pipe operator, price after discount, which will take an input of discount. I will pause here and note that price after discount takes two inputs, the list price and the discount. Above, I am only using the discount because I am piping the first piece of information through this pipe operator. So when we use this pipe operator, the first argument to the function is used from the data that is piped into this function. So the list price is already used inside as a first argument. So I only have to define this, write the second argument, and so on. After that, I pipe the output of price after discount to price after tax, and this takes an input of tax as an argument, and there we have it. So let's go ahead and run our test cases once again, and we see that all 9 test cases pass. It is very interesting to note that how this pipe operator closely follows our analysis. We start with the list price, we feed the data into price after discount, and which is fed to the price after tax, and this simply becomes the last function. If the entire line becomes too long to read, you can split that into multiple lines like so. And now you can see that you start with the list price, it is piped into price after discount, and it is piped into price after tax. So circling back and looking back at our drawing board, the key takeaway is that function composition is the primary means through which we are going to solve more complex problems and write larger programs. This is achieved by two things. One is writing functions that only do one thing. They are not combinations of multiple ideas together. So these are modular pieces of code that are only going to do one job. For example, this price after discount, it takes an input and transforms the data in this way. After we create these modular pieces, the second idea is to connect these modular pieces through this composition or the piping operator. I hope this is useful. Join me in the next session where we will learn more Elixir motivated by a different problem set.